why you shouldn't charge to 100% at a supercharger when you're on a long trip. Back in September 2022, I got my Model Y and I performed a supercharging test. The link to that video should appear up here somewhere. There I showed that you could get up to 170 kilowatt hours into the battery at a time, but only if you arrived with a low state of charge and the battery was preconditioned. The long range and performance ones get closer to 250 at a supercharger. Mine's only a rear wheel drive. But if you look at that video, you'll see that it doesn't maintain that for very long. The charge rate drops off. It sort of plateaued a bit. And that was in the middle of that charging thing. And by the time it got to about 90%, it was slowing down quite considerably. And the last 1% from 99 to 100% took about half an hour. So all up, to go from around 10% to 100% took over 1 hour. So there basically, as you know, two ways to charge your EV. AC and DC. AC is slower, but it's the best rate, and the best rate that you're likely to get there is 11 kilowatts. Some of the lower end of the market cars will only give you 7.6 kilowatts maximum charging. And this is basically known as destination charging. You can charge slowly when you've reached your destination because you're not in a mad rush to do very much. But when you're on a long trip and you want to get to your destination fast, this is where DC fast charging comes into its own. You can stop at a fast DC charger, such as a Tesla supercharger, plug in, and within 15 minutes or so, you've got enough charge to reach the next charger or your destination. It's been shown many, many times that you can have enough charge going from, say, 20 to 60%, and it will do that 40% in a certain amount of time. But if you go from 60 to 100%, that's another 40%, it can take almost twice as long, if not more. So look at the charging curve in that previous video. It really does demonstrate this. So adding the 40% charge at the lower end is much faster than the 40% charge at the other end. And it's usually apparent that the best charge times are between 10 and 65%. Once at 70, it starts to slow down a bit. So it takes a lot longer to get those kilowatts into the battery. Now, most places around the world have got a lot of DC fast chargers and a lot of Tesla superchargers. So you won't need to go any higher than 60 or 70% to get to the next charging station. I will add a large caveat there. Western Australia, yeah, we're getting there, but it's still not very good. So there aren't a lot of fast DC chargers around, but it is improving. With Tesla superchargers also, the failure rate is infinitesimally small. So you can be pretty certain that when you get to the next charger, they'll be working. So you don't really need to charge to 100% on a long trip. Frequent, shorter stops are more than sufficient, and you'll actually arrive at your destination quicker than doing half as many stops for a lot longer. Another advantage to stopping and charging more frequently is the added safety factor of a break from driving. Yeah, I know, there are idiots that will go, I can go for 10 hours straight. But in my opinion, they are self-centered, dangerous idiots who shouldn't have a driving license. And if you're one of those, up yours. Of course, if everybody practiced this, then the fast DC chargers wouldn't be quite so busy, especially at holiday times. So there have been a few cases now in Australia with a lot of Teslas. Some of the Tesla superchargers, people are having to wait and queue for an hour. I wonder how many of those that are sitting there are waiting to get up to 100% when they don't actually need to. Now, for those of us with an LFP battery, I know you can leave it set to 100%, but you don't actually need to charge it to that level, except maybe every week or 2 weeks. Take it up to 100%. It allows the car's battery management system to jiggle the batteries so that it knows what it can do. You can do that with a destination charger or when you're at home. You don't need to sit and hog a Tesla supercharger for an additional 40 minutes or so to get from 95 to 100%. Now, if you don't have an LFP battery, charging to 100% and not driving it immediately can be very detrimental to your battery's long-term prospects. So, here's my thoughts. When you're on a trip, don't charge to 100%. Charge to get enough to get to the next stop. Now, your Tesla will, if you plug in a destination, will take you through all the superchargers, and it will actually show you only need charge here for 8 minutes, for 16 minutes, for 27 minutes, and so on. And you better stop at all of them around. Now, over on the eastern side of Australia, there's a lot of superchargers. And I know people that have gone from Adelaide, plugged it all the way around to Brisbane, and it just says stop here, stop there, stop there. Here's how long. Get the charge up to 57%, 45%, 72%, or whatever. So, don't charge to 100% except when you reach a destination charger and you're there overnight. You can plug it in and happy days. So there you have it. Don't charge to 100%. A lower percentage is quicker in the long run, and it will get you to your destination just the same. And in fact, it will get you there a lot quicker than charging it up to 95% or 100% at every stop. Thanks very much. Hope you found that useful. Don't forget, click on that like and subscribe button below. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you all very soon.